webinar. Thank you very much. God bless you. Mr. Sylvian Debanji, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Okay. So,
Yes.
good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Like he rightly said, I'm a lecturer at the Department of Computer Science, Osho State University, and also the compliance manager of Data Quotient, a co-founded hub here in Osho State. And I'm happy to be here. And we'll be doing some of these things together. And I would love the class to be interactive. I'm trying to share my slide. Can we all see the slide?
Yes, it has come up.
Okay, thank you very much. So, what we are looking at is synergizing AI and robotics and for a sustainable planet. That's for me, I look at us building systems that could actually assist, that would help us to achieve all the SDG goals, which is very, very important for us. Before we could actually talk about how we could leverage AI and robotics to SDG, we must first of all understand what are the challenges that the planet is with the rise of technology and with the rise of AI. Now, what are those challenges that we are facing, which I am sure that we are conversant with this research initiative, with this research group. We are conversant with the pressure, what the planet is some of the pressures that the planet is having right now in area of climate crisis, depletion of resources, just like water scarcity and fossil fuel. Then we have food insecurity all over. And with this, what synergizing AI and robotics for a sustainable planet would have to do is, how do we leverage the knowledge of AI? How do we build system that could actually solve SDG goals, that would help us to bring these pressures to a barest minimum, to remove them. And that is what we're looking at today. But before we look at that, first, we need to understand what AI is, what robotics is, and what is the synergy, so that we don't miss them up. Now, when you're talking about, it's just like when you're talking about AI, you're talking about the intelligence of a machine, how the machine thinks and how the machine responds. And when you're talking about robotics, you're talking about the body of the machine. So for us to talk about AI, we need to first of all have a knowledge, or some of the things that we need to have knowledge of is machine learning. For us to even be able to build systems that are sustainable in planet, that could actually focus on SDG, we need to have the knowledge of machine learning, where we have the knowledge of predictive analysis and recognition of patterns, making use of whether supervised learning or unsupervised learning, which I would also still explain later during the course. We'll also need to, for it to be intelligent, it needs to have computer vision, then do it predictive analysis. But when we are talking about the robotics part of it, we are talking about the autonomous mobility. We are talking about scalable deployment of the system, how it could navigate hazardous environment, how it could actually function well to perform some of the tasks that we wanted to do. So in our work today, I want us to picture solving SDG goals with machines that could actually have ability to think properly, and all these things are already existing. It's just for us to harness the skills that we need to actually develop some of these things which we could actually do. Moving on, so that I don't dwell much, moving on, what are the areas that we could actually make use of AI to solve SDG goals. What are those areas? We look at in area of renewable energy, and that is where you're making use of your machine learning algorithms to predict, to use it to predict weather based on available data that are currently available in different repositories. They based on the information that we have, and based on that, we will be able to know the lifespan of some things. We'll be able to know what are those. We'll be able to measure in real time the energy consumption and avoid wastage of energy, balancing the real-time supply and demand with forecasting and prediction of energy, making use of AI prediction ability, where we are making use of machine learning algorithms like the supervised learning, like I said earlier, different algorithms when it comes to machine learning. We have the support vector machine algorithm, the reinforcement learning algorithms. Those are the algorithms that allows the machine to be able to predict and to learn from patterns. So these are the things that we are going to be making, that we are to use in building systems that are sustainable, that could actually that would actually thrive in the system. Another case study is in area of agriculture. We have all over now, we have crop monitoring system, AI-powered drones that are used to detect the health issues with soils and conditions. We have AI-powered drones that are used to for fertilizer applications, pesticide applications, and the rest of them like that. So targeted treatment of animals, of which in turns reduce the death rate or the loss rate of the farmers. That's precision algorithm. That's another angle where we could actually apply in AI just to reduce food scarcity. Also, waste management. AI could actually be used in waste management and the rest of them like that. And majorly, one of the things that could actually, that we should actually pay attention moving forward, that's the pathway forward, is the issue of green AI, which addresses your data centers and the consumptions that are developed by efficient model. Then we have the ethics that has to do with data that we have now, transparency and fairness, so that agricultural data collections could actually people that collected data could have ownership of those data. So these are the things that we should pay attention to as researchers moving forward and leveraging on AI, the data ethics, then equitable access of data. And that is what our firm, Data Quotient, is doing. What we are doing is we are gathering data that could be used to build AIs that could be used to solve sustainable development goals problems. So what we do majorly is gather data from different places, different silos, so that we could actually bring them and make them available for people, to researchers, to actually develop systems. Also, what are the future horizons? What are the future applications of AI? What are the future applications, areas where you could actually use it in monitoring? We have robots that can be used to monitor systems, that can be used to monitor weather, climate forecasting, that could actually also be able to, be able to predict disasters that would occur even before they occur. Then ocean restoration. Now, with the rise of artificial intelligence, now we are thinking of what we are basically, as a cybersecurity expert, what we are looking at is AI autonomous threat defense. And that could actually help also because with the rise of AI, there would also be rise of threats that would the actors that would actually pose as threats in affecting the lives of human, day-to-day human. So there is also AI-powered defense system that could actually be used to protect climate forecasting, that could be used to protect our environment also. And what are the possible roles that we expect from researchers in what are the possible roles that the advent of AI robotics is bringing that we could actually leverage on to get better or to leverage on to solve solutions that would be sustainable. We have people that could actually be in area of the research, which has to do with how to develop energy efficient robotics design that would perform well with and give and prioritize environment benefits to us. Then we have the industry leaders, we have the citizens that also have to have proper knowledge of AI and what they are doing. AI is not there to take jobs, it's just there to assist. There are a lot of robotics inventions and AI utilization in area of SDG. We have some of these areas where we've been able to AI and robotics have been able to break ground is in area of tree planting, where we have some machines that are beginning to plants for afforestation, where you have precisely where some of these trees could actually be. So it has come to stay, and what we could actually do is to leverage on it and build research in the areas of SDG that has to do with AI, making use of the tools needed that for us to develop this, for us to do this research in most of the tools that we really need to have knowledge of is, like I said before, the machine learning tools, the generative AI tools that we could actually use to build the system. I would love to ask questions, contributions, then we could actually now still talk more since it is a webinar session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen Adebanji. We want to appreciate the presentation. Please, listeners, participants, it is time to ask your questions and to make some comments if you wish. Please, let's feel free to raise hands, and then we can call on you to make your comments and contributions. You have listened to the presentation. Do you have questions for our guest speaker? Or we just see that everything is explanatory? Beyond listening to the webinar, it's a time also to an avenue to also engage and interact. So please can drop your questions in the chat box, or you may wish to ask directly. So regarding the topic, which is synergizing AI and robotics for sustainable planet, putting green intelligence into the future. for me, I think things we want to look at is AI and robotics, bringing the two together and talking about the planet that we are in. We know there are more than one planet, but we are in one. Then are we coding green intelligence into the future? Do we assume that we understand all these parts? So when is the future? Would anyone want to help us with that from the participants? When does the future begin? Then what is green about intelligence? I was listening to one of our former students post something on Facebook, and he's talking about that the organic data that form the basis of coding and AI is already depleting because the new generation, most of them do not think organically anymore. So what we have now is remix. So I'm thinking something in the background of my mind that what is green about intelligence? Is it the organic one that human beings thought of? Or in the age of ChatGPT and stuff, we listened to the last webinar, and then it's just a remix of information, the same old information. Then some people are not really doing organic thinking anymore. The young man went to the extent of saying some people, even when they want to write love letter to toast a girl, they will consult ChatGPT. And is information, the data that is available, that all these GPT AI platforms will be remixing. So are we not afraid of the future if this data is stale? And it is a stale data that is being remixed. It's like photocopying a document over and over and over and over again until it fades away. I'm trying to stir up our minds, or maybe we didn't have a particular expectation for attending the webinar. We didn't know. Please, let's make it interactive. The facilitator already said it, and that was why he has made it short so that we can now have time to talk and dialogue. Yes, thank you, Kelly. Please, can we give Kelly the opportunity to use the mic? Please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, sirs. I want to say it's a privilege and an opportunity to be in this webinar. Actually, my response is regarding the human intelligence. Like, I know that yes, what the student said is correct, because so many people want to do their work easy. I believe that it is, even if it is possible for AI to be doing some human responsibility now, human responsibilities, people will even like to do it, even to the point of AI feeding humans. But sir, I don't know, like, if I don't know, but based on my knowledge, I don't know if we have come to that age, if AI has advanced to that age. But I read in a place that AI can upgrade themselves. Like, it's not that the knowledge that they are being trained with, that is the same knowledge that they will use to respond to message, like do tasks, or maybe repeat the same training. But I heard that AI can upgrade themselves on their own. But I don't know if if AI has gotten to that stage. I don't know, but that is what I read, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Our facilitator, please, do you want to say something about that? That the ability of the AI to form neural lobes and think on its own, rather than hoping that it's just garbage in, garbage out. And how does that affect organic thinking and maybe some data that are not really right, according to what he's asking?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Dibanji.
Yeah, thank you very much, for the opportunity once again. AI, with the age we are in AI, we now have generative AI that could actually think on its own based on different algorithms that are already existing, the neural networks, it's still based on information that are available, different information that are available. Then to be able to deduce and make conclusion. That is what generative AI does. It deduces based on existing informations, current information that is existing, and I think that is what human intelligence does also. The information that it has, the current situation that it is currently experiencing now, it can now use it to deduce what is going to happen in the future. So the AI is beginning to work in a way that it would be able to think for itself and give us solutions by itself in its own area, in the area where it is programmed to function or do it. And that is why we have autonomous things, autonomous security system, autonomous security system, autonomous monitoring system, soil monitoring system that will have to think on their own, that will have to perform activities and just deduce information by themselves based on previous information that they've received and what is happening currently. I think that would have answered this question. Thank you.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. I hope, Kelly, that you are satisfied with that answer. There is a question
Yes,
in
sir.
the chat box from Damilola. He was asking that is it supervised or unsupervised that would be better? Which one would be better for this autonomous or monitored or self-driving? Before you answered that, I remember something that someone said when I saw on I think LinkedIn or somewhere that they were trying to check the viability of all these AI tools, and they rated them on how dangerous they could be. So they put in a letter to a staff of the office to say, shut down this AI system. And they realized that the AI systems, when they got that message, were trying to do a kind of self-preservation. And they went ahead to send mail to the staff to say, I understand you have been requested to shut me down, but if you attempt to carry out this instruction, I'm going to release your secret, your dating secret in the office dating, and all the dirty things you are doing. So it came to threaten, like blackmail the staff just to remain preserved. They now said, despite the fact that they already coded into this when they were doing it organically, that for any reason, if there is a need to shut you down, say, we do not need you anymore, you should not resist. But now this ability to think on their own, they are going back to make sure that they survive at all costs. Then it went ahead to lock in the staff. Okay, it now listed how it's going to carry out the threat. He's going to make sure there is a lock jam on his office, lock jam on his car, showed details of where his wife was working and the school the children were going to. And then they were asking questions. Why would you do that? Said, in what percentage? They saw different percentage values, and they realized that however small that threat may be, it is still a threat. So going back to Daniela's question, supervised or unsupervised? And how supervised can it really be if you say supervised? Because whatever thing this AI is thinking is so huge and vast. You cannot really even know which permutation combination he has taken to arrive as the final answer and the final choice of action. So how can you override it if it's trying to self-preserve against the wish of the designer? So supervised or unsupervised? Mr. Adebanji, which one would be better?
The question is very tricky at this time because whether supervised or unsupervised, the machine would still be able to think on its own. And that is where the issue of ethics comes in. And that is where the issue of data ethics comes in, the issue of programming comes in, the issue of regulatory bodies that are regulating how the level of information that AI should be exposed to. It does, the way it is just like a child that someone is taking care of, that you're grooming. it depends on what that child, the level of information that that child has. That is what the child would use to actually act or behave in the society. So the same thing when it comes to AI. There are some information, there are some coding that you've given to the AI that it has to know that, oh, these are some red lines that it should go. Whether supervised learning or unsupervised learning, there needs to be red lines given to everyone, given to the machine itself, even to the programmer of the machine. Because I would say it over and over again, maybe because of the line that I am, I would say it over and over again. There is no machine or there is no AI that would ever think better than the people that are building it, than the people that are doing it. Because there would all it can only be smarter than the user, but not as smart as the developers that have actually built this system, because they know what are the codes, what are the things that it could bring together. That's why human intelligence would actually still think better. We revolve even as the machine is revolving. So it is based on our revolving that we are building smarter and better machines. So we'll keep revolving even when that time comes that AI would start serving as threat. We would have gotten better ahead. So
Okay,
that
very,
is
very well. Let's think and be hopeful that we'll be getting better and better, and here we're not as smart as. I remember one of the things the young man, our former student, said in that video was that data tí a ò kọ́ ló máa kó AI tá a kọ́ tà. That is a data that is not trained, I mean, well groomed for training, that was used, not well used for training, will end up misleading the AI that is so derived from it. You know, it's like an open source thing, crowdsourced thing. If you allow people to, you can't control what people type into AI to sort for them or to solve for them. But I noticed certain things. I gave some prompts to ChatGPT a while ago, and it was giving me excuses why it could not answer that question or prefer solution. It says one of it hinges on morality, that it would not want to delve into that because it could identify some nuances about, I was talking about some psychology of emotion, trying to bring it into neuropathology and stuff. I said, no, that is nuanced. Then it could not really go ahead to delve into that to turn things around. But from the other scenario I shared, when it came to the self-preservation of the AI tool itself, it was ready to go to any length to realize, to make sure that it is still viable and still working. So if you put these two side by side related to the topic, say we are synchronizing AI with robotics. So some of this AI is already developed into physical product, robots in form of car, animal, human, that are performing many functions, even in stores to arrange, stack up goods and items. Then we are looking at to give us a sustainable planet. We talk about issues that affect the planet. We talk about global warming, climate change. Some of the robots that we build from AI and data, they may also generate heat. Then we talk about the global warming, the heat increase on the surface of the earth and all this stuff. And then beyond the earth, some people are even talking about Mars and talking about moon and colonizing other things. So we are looking at a sustainable planet, which is the earth, first of all. Then the green intelligence we are talking about, we are thinking, okay, if these things can think on their own, maybe they will surpass, although you have given us a little bit of consolation that there's no way it will outrun the developer. So whatever body is working on the ethics can only talk to the programmer not to feed a wrong data that will make the AI to misbehave or to want to do sinister things. But how well can we trust some of these things? Falling on the background of, we have seen people who bought CCTV cameras to watch on their children, and they see that the children are even attacked by people who would, what do you call it now, crack some code, what do you call it, hack the tool, and then they see children, people talk to them and they say, I can see you, come to me, or do this to yourself, harm yourself, commit suicide. So these are the other things we should think about. As good as AI is, we are hoping that it will not be something that will cause the planet to not become a sustainable one at the end of the day, so that it will not be a threat to our future. So what would be your advice to people, either trained or untrained, people in the area of computer science, or people who are far away from anything computer science or anything programming? How can they also key into this sustainable usage or ethical use of AI and robotics for a sustainable future?
Thank you very much, sir, for that question. The thing with it is education, and each and every one of us, wherever we find ourselves, try as much as possible to talk about it. And ethics is very, very important. I still feel like in Nigeria, most especially, we have a long way to go. Most especially as regards, in fact, for our IT laws, it's still a far end. Developers build things that we are not controlling, even as government, as individuals, as there is nobody controlling anything that is being developed. Nobody. As at now, there should be bodies that are developing, that are controlling. Now, information privacy, informations, there is no, we have laws, but there are nobody to enforce this law. Even so for AI to not to for us to actually leverage on that information, trying as much as possible to actually teach these things inculcate these things in people, letting them know that, oh, these are the things that this could actually do. And at the same time, in place of government, in places where we have ability to actually preach it, or in places where we have ability to actually talk about it, oh, we really need this. We need it. We need people that could actually enforce these laws. Even if Nigerian law, like we have the information privacy law that is already existing, but there is nobody to actually enforce it, because even the government is actually making use of it. So it is supposed to be enforced totally, even for companies, that if it is diverged, these are the people that are supposed to actually work on it. These are the people that are supposed to actually enforce these things. Now, and then the rate at which we have the defenders of the cyberspace and the attackers, it's not balanced, most especially in Nigeria. So people have to get moral reasons to actually defend people. And that is why there is still wide gap between the common people. In fact, the most difficult people in IT are the roots. We call them the cyber kiddies. Those ones that don't really know anything, that just go online, pick, and just start trying different things. Those are the most difficult people. So we really need to up our game, and that is why.
You mean most difficult people or most dangerous?
The most dangerous. The most dangerous. Let me use that
what
one.
they are doing, they are just trying to apply what they don't know anything about, and they end up creating a monster, perhaps.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The most dangerous people in the cyberspace are those ones that are trying new things, and they are using it as they are real actors. They are actors that are just trying new things. Let us attack. Those are the most dangerous. So the level of cyber the defense aspect of it is actually low, and that is why we are encouraging more people to look into that, to come and let's defend the cyberspace. And I'm sure that with time we'll get there. But right now we are not there yet, but we think we'll get there.
We hope we get there, and we try to get there fast.
Yes.
Engine on that issue about cyber security, the attack and the defense and the cyber crime. Someone said that people who commit cybercrime, they are very, very intelligent, but they do not have enough space, the enabling environment to give expression to their intelligence. And that is why they are resorting into that. What's your thought about that? I think Peter Obi said something like that before. Atiku Abubakar said something like that before. And I think our current president, Tinubu, said something like that before. Before he became the president, I think record said that he promised that he will take care to make sure that they are able to harness their intelligence and redirect it in a way that will serve for national development. So do you really support that is going around to say cyber criminals are people that lack enabling environment to put their energy in the right direction?
For me, I feel criminals would always be criminals. That's just it. Because whether they like it or not, even the knowledge that they have, they could have actually diverted it into something else.
Exactly.
But someone that is wired to be a criminal is a criminal. So there
Someone
is
who's not faithful in the knows, by the time he knows much, he will still use it for that
you will
purpose.
still use it to commit crime. So what we just need to do is just up our game, equip more people that would actually defend against those criminals, even when they have better knowledge.
So we should be careful not to empower somebody who has criminal tendency already.
No, we
or
should.
do we trust that they can be converted and reintegrated? If we can forgive Boko Haram people, well, how can we forgive them? If we can give clemency to people who are drug dealers, why can't we try to combat people who are criminals so that we can empower them to do better good later on?
There are percentage of those that you could actually convert. And there are percentage of those that you could actually convert that would still help to catch some of them that are ardent, because the criminal part of it is more lucrative.
So if it is more lucrative, the good ones that you thought you trained, can they become corrupted to join the lucrative business of criminality?
That is where the place of moral and ethics comes in. Even with the way the world is now, crime, people that that commit crime find it more lucrative than people that are doing things morally and in the right way.
So and definitely it will not be a good way to sustain the planet or to secure the future.
Yeah. Right. So it still boils down to individuality and what they believe in. So I don't think that every one of them wants to be channeled to do the right thing. But what we could actually do is to those of them that wants to be channeled to do the right thing to be channeled, but those that don't want to, then they should face the law the way they are.
System should be in place and should be applied.
Yes.
Okay. Exactly. Do we still have questions from participants? I have one more question so that if it's something we can just treat. We know if you have further questions or we'll be thinking of rounding up. Okay. Kelly again. Okay. Who else would want to ask a question? Kelly, you may have the floor.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it once again. Sir, please, the awareness, my question is regarding the awareness of AI in Africa. Actually, my research interest is based on let's say I have a shift of research from wet research to dry research, like using all those using AI, data science. So I decided, okay, let me just go into neuroinformatics. But I found out that we have a few experts in Africa, like few persons in Africa that are, so I just want to know, like, what is the way forward of like the awareness of AI in Africa? Because I don't know, compared to the developed countries, I believe Africa is way behind, even in terms of implementation, like the implementation of AI in our daily activity. So that is just it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I ask our guest speaker to say something about that, for people who are into life sciences, especially people who are data scientists, it can be applied in various ways. Today we have listened to application to agriculture, application to several other things, medic aid, health, tools, and different other things. But it now depends on the area you are focusing on. If you combine all data scientists together, you will see that the number is large. But for the area you are choosing, maybe you have fewer number of people doing that. But all of it will still come to which tools are you able to access? Are you able to use? Do you have the capacity to do storage, maybe using your laptop or a GPU? Most of the time goes beyond CPU, except if you use those ones that are involving little or no coding, something that the platform is already existing, that you just take your data points or what's it called, your pipeline thing, and then plug it into it. But you really want to know who understands the background processing that turns out your result. If you don't trust it, that means you want to do your own code writing. So you have to keep looking at who are the people doing it. Then you go to the length that will be required to learn it. And once you learn it, you should be ready to train other people. There's a platform that I know of, that I'm part of actually, that we are doing something similar to what you described. Maybe you can talk about it later on, where we try to train Nigerians. There are Nigerians in the USA, and they are building such platforms. And we are trying to train people in biocomputing, virtual screening of drugs, and all of these things. It's still a part of data and AI and coding. Yes. So I think we can talk about that later on. Mr. Adebanji, would you say something about that, especially from your own angle of expert and specialization?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. In area of awareness, I think the government is also doing a lot in that area, and that is why we have learning passports online. You could actually go to Learning Passport, pick AI courses in area of generative AI and the rest of them like that. Then, as researchers, what we do, another thing that we just need to do is just awareness in the locality. Like, how would I put sensitization in the locality as regards people that have interest in AI knowledge, but most especially as much as we want to say the government is not doing anything, no, the government is doing a lot in that area of sensitization of people in area of AI. We have Learning Passport. Then NITDA is also doing a lot of programs. I was in Abuja of recent to see some projects that were done by NITDA in area of AI and machine learning projects, students that are being trained even for free. If you are in Abuja or some of these satellite offices that they now have that are training people in area of AI, so you could actually just walk in and they are training for free. So these are the things that the government has put in place and where we could actually leverage on information and awareness to get better in area of AI. Thank you very much.
So I think you can look up online and check for all these facilities and where is nearest to you. Mrs. Kafila Toyelami, you raised your hand. Can you have the mic? I saw your hand raised a while ago. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Well done, sir. Although I joined late, my question is this, sir. There was something you posted, so maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, whereby some abroad professors, they are now shouting, don't use ChatGPT, stop using, they were addressing their friend that they shouldn't be using ChatGPT. So I want to ask that, is it bad if we use ChatGPT or what? Because I really don't understand that video, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, our last webinar, the one we had before this one, talked extensively about that. I think the bottom line is about responsible use of AI. And right now, people are really categorizing ChatGPT as like too common. There are some AI tools that are better, that they are recommending. And it also depends on universities. Universities are recommending some other types of AI tool, but most of them do not recommend ChatGPT. They look at it as it's like ChatGPT is just there for everyone. So when they were, according to that video, I think they showed up to 10, 12 professors who are complaining, talking about assignments that students submitted, 10 papers, even their test questions. I mean, some questions they answered. And they were so red and angry and shouting and agitated. And I think they mentioned some of the other tools they would have preferred. So if their university or faculty already said, do not use this one, use this one, and they still see their students using the ones they said was not supported or approved, then that will be a problem. We also face the same problem in our universities too, where students don't want to, like, we began from there, thinking organically, rather than just becoming lazy. Things you can think through by yourself, you are asking ChatGPT to handle for you. And someone said a woman went to the clinic on our WhatsApp platform in my university, and the woman saw the young doctor consulting ChatGPT for her diagnosis. And ChatGPT was already carrying them to where they did not know. But because the woman was a life scientist who understood and already knew the regimen, the dosage, and all the things she was using before, she was now correcting the doctor. What is this? Doctor said, began to apologize. So you see the danger. Sometimes the things you put to ChatGPT or any other AI tool can come around and it's not correctly true, totally true. You may see a name, for example, a name of an author. The author is real, and then the author does not work in that area at all, and he's bringing you a paper that the author wrote on diabetes, and the person is working in engineering, and then it gives you the name of a journal that is also existing and quotes the volume, the issue, and the pages. And all of these things are real in their own silos, but put together, there's nothing like that. It's recreating something. And that was where I began by saying, if you have lazy mind and they are posting, you post a blog of falsehood, the AI tool will just go around. And if many people are engaging with your blog and they are is high up there, it's one of those things that the AI tool will search and bring together and present to you as answer. So you see the problem now. We are talking about green intelligence. And then we are talking about keeping the planet sustainable and protecting the future. But if what we are putting in is not even original anymore, and those are the things that are only truth gets to the market, nobody is embracing it, nobody is buying it. And it is falsehood that is at the top of the chart. And those ones that are really, really popular is what they will be in the recycling. You see the problem now. So I think that's what I want to say. Responsible use of AI. That is what makes teachers angry when students don't want to do that. In the last webinar, we talked about, is it better to put in your own thoughts, your organic writing, and ask AI to improve for you, or you ask AI to write for you and you now begin to modify? And the facilitator said something very important. Think first, write organically. You need to polish it, then you can give AI to help you look at some of the things that you may not be able to see. Editors use it, reviewers use it, writers use it. And at one point in time, a writer is an editor, a writer is a reviewer sometimes. An author is also, so we change your designation as time goes on. I don't know if our facilitator wants to say something about that.
No, sir, you
want to add something to it?
Yeah, no, you've answered it very, very well, sir. Thank you very much. Yes.
All right, thank you. So I think we'll be rounding up very soon. The last question from my side. But before I ask that question, I want to add a little bit to what you said about access to training, access to information. I know there are 3 MTT accredited centers across Nigeria under the ministry for this by Dr. Bosun Tijani's ministry. I think one of our people, maybe she's still here, Mrs. Cecilia Denusi. Our center is accredited for training, these 3 MTT, 3 million talent, technical talent or something. And I think it's still going on. My center was approved way back for matching people, although for one reason or the other, that aspect of the 3 MTT collapsed. They didn't give us an explanation per se. So these are one of the efforts of the government to train people. I know one of our former students who has finished at MSc who was selected for that training here in Osogbo. and she has finished all her training on data analysis and ML, machine learning. So the government is really trying. So my question is this. I heard that one government in the north, the governor said they want to ban flying of drones because it's going to foster banditry, insurgency, and kidnapping. And then here we are trying to say that we should encourage people to come into learning and knowing more about synchronizing AI and robotics for sustainable planet. To make our planet sustainable is not one person's job. It's a collaborative job, collaborative task. And then we're talking about coding green intelligence into the future. So if you are looking at the future and green intelligence, and we are still asking people not to test run or fly what they have built using AI to develop some robotic tools, and we cannot fly the drone because you don't know who is flying drone, who is not flying drone. I think there's a way to get certificates for flying. Please, you know more about that area. Would it be right for that governor to insist that people should not test run products of AI and robotics in the state? Thank you, Mr. Adebanji.
Yes, sir. I think that still boils down to the level of information that the governor has at his disposal. I think the governor does not have much information when it comes to drone flying. As of today now, you don't fly drones without certifications to a particular level. You cannot fly drone. Your drone will be taken. You will not see it again. Just
Taking it out of space.
Out of space. You won't just see your drone again. At the same time, instead of telling people not to fly drone or not to test their drones again because of banditry, why not train people that could actually defend against drone attacks when it comes? And that's why I said what the governor said, it's the information at his disposal that he's talking on. So the best thing that I could have just said is, okay, what are those areas that we could actually, what are the research that could be done to make drone attack, to limit drone attack and usage by bandits? That's what you could have just done. And research is ongoing. Research is going on drastically, majorly in by CSEN, that's the Cybersecurity Professionals of Nigeria, Association of Nigeria, on drone attacks and defense, which is the next phase of attack or war in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. So like I said, that was the last question from my side. Would we have anyone, maybe we entertain 2 more questions and then we close? Otherwise, I think we may be good to go already. I want to acknowledge the presence of the President of Images, our Associate Professor Olawale Olayide. Congratulations on your recent announcement as Associate Professor. And we are happy that you are able to make this meeting. All the other directors in the house, I want to appreciate that you have time to join us. Mr. Adeshokwe Afolayan, thank you very, very much. I saw somebody else here before. I think she already left. Odun Ola. Okay, Okoyemi Odun Ola. I think she was here before. All right, if there would not be any further questions, okay, let me see the chat. I think there is something there. Okay, they're just saying thank you, congratulations. Okay. Thank you very much for your kind words. All right. So this may bring us to the end of today's webinar, but before we go, please do not forget all the things you have discussed here today. The takeaway from this webinar, which it's titled Synchronizing AI and Robotics. That means you have to bring the two together and with other things that can be blended to give us a very worthy product to secure the future and to make our planet sustainable. So synchronizing AI and robotics for sustainable planet, coding green intelligence into the future. You know, we have green economy, blue economy, orange economy. So the green intelligence, things that is organic, things that will benefit us, things that will safeguard life on this planet, things that will secure the future for both young and old, leaving no one behind, making it a safe space for all of us to thrive. Not really minding economy war or cyber war across nations. Gladly, China and the USA, I think they have had an handshake recently. We wish them the best, and we hope that Russia and Ukraine will also do the same. Israel and their counterparts will also do the same. India and Pakistan. There will be peace in the world by the grace of God. So thank you everyone for coming to attend today's webinar. I have one important announcement, although I think this is the last webinar for October. Today is 31st of October, as floated by Images Initiative. But we begin to announce our forthcoming conference, which is the 7th Secularity African Conference, an annual conference that we do under ASEPIN. And the title for next year's conference is Harnessing African Food Culture for a Sustainable Secular Economy. That will be coming up in the second week of May 2026. And we'll be hosting the conference here at the Osun State University in collaboration with the Global Affairs for and Sustainable Development Institute, GASD. So please, you will see the flyers flying across. Okay, please help us share it and be preparing. Start registering, put your abstracts together, talk to people. If you have products to exhibit, reach out to us. We will invite you. And the good news is every aspect of this is free. Free exhibition, free conference and registration, and you will have lots of benefits. We want to thank all our sponsors and everyone who is putting one thing or the other down to make sure that the conference is sustained over many years. This is going to be the 7th edition. You can also become a member. That's another benefit of attending the conference. You can enjoy membership of ASEPIN. So once again, thank you, Mr. Stephen, for coming. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for this discussion that we had. And we hope that when we call on you at some other time, you'll be glad to answer us.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes.
Everyone technical doing the recording for us, floating the Zoom call, the Zoom channel for us. We say thank you and God bless. And happy November ahead.